All right, there's Ben. Okay, very good. No problem. So anyway, welcome to the live stream. I have all the devs for AcreetionOS, and they're in the house. So without further ado, I'm just gonna get into it. We're just gonna have a blast. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Thank you.
No
Yeah.
problem. All right. So, let's see here. Let's start with Linux Grandpa.
Really?
Just yeah. Tell me a little bit about yourself. I know your name's Darren, and that you basically maintain the Cinnamon desktop, but or Cinnamon version. Go ahead and just introduce yourself.
I'm me. I'm not good at introducing myself. I just maintain that, and I'm a Gen X, and I'm grumpy all the time. That's Jonathan. He'll tell you. I throw a
Yeah.
lot of things,
Yeah,
but that's about normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, I just maintain that
Yeah.
and cuss Arch a lot when they change stuff. That's why my OBS is not working.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny, like with OBS, uh, I have to use either a flat pack or a snap pack. I can't use OBS on from the AUR or anywhere else because I need some tools and they don't necessarily offer them like the NDI, so that I can talk to two different computers and stuff.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
usually just use the binary, but
yeah.
I'm not a big flat pack fan myself.
Oh yeah, yeah. I can understand that. Yeah. Um,
Ever
and
since I tried to install flat pack Steam and spent a day trying to get permissions to work right, and then having to install another program just to get the permissions to work right so I could access my games on my hard drive.
oh, somebody said we should do a Manjaro stream.
Oh God.
Oh my gosh, who decided
Can
that?
you imagine? Can you imagine the
It,
hilarity that
this is
crap would ensue?
well, this is somebody who's actually probably even harder on Manjaro than I am. So,
Oh my
I
gosh.
mean, like not
Like,
no, I mean
okay.
like he insults Manjaro worse than I do. So like, yeah,
So like
he
oh
not
I
not
think he
God.
meant it as a joke.
not not to be mean, but like at least we maintain our SSLs, you know.
Yeah, I
That's
know,
true.
right?
Like,
True story.
oh God, help us all if that does actually
All
happen.
right. Well, anyway, so Darren is the one who maintains the cinnamon version. So Darren, just real quick, how did you get into doing like maintaining, you know, your own image, so to speak, your own Arch Linux spin?
Yeah.
Um, I basically don't like how most of them do it, so
Yeah.
I decided to do it myself, and my kid convinced me to do it, and all, excuse me, all that good stuff.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
mean, so I decided to do it one day, and now I'm kind of stuck. Server
Yeah.
sitting behind me on an open bench server that runs everything, for the
Yeah.
repos and
The
all
website,
that good stuff.
all of that.
Mm.
Oh Lord, that is funny.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, that's actually a good reason because, like, I've kind of had, like, the same, when I used Arch Linux, many years ago, like, I think I used Arch until about 3 years ago. And that was the main thing that I didn't like how Arco is doing it. I didn't like how Garuda was doing it. There's, I guess, maybe like, there's a couple of projects that are pretty basic, that I didn't mind how they did things, but the most part, I didn't like how they managed packages. Like it was the worst. Oh man, there's some people really in the chat saying
Really ripping on Manjaro. Yeah,
yes.
our YouTube guy,
Oh.
Jacob, is really ripping on him right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, all right. And Jonathan, you're the KDE
Plasma.
Plasma. Yes.
Yeah. So just to give a little bit of background, Darren and I, we actually live together.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so we actually maintain the stuff here. He does most of the work on the server itself, but he and I had some differences of opinions on things, and I went, I should try to maintain my own version. And initially, it was going to be GNOME, but Libet Vita, I could get into a 2 hour long discussion about why it's trash, and
You
well,
won't hear no
I don't think
argument
we want
from
that.
me.
Yeah, like I don't think we want to get into that. So I went, you know what? I've
I don't
worked with
blame
plenty of KDE before, and I went, we should have a plasma version. They were all, and Ben and Darren was fine with it, so I threw it together, and it wasn't actually too hard because
you.
Darren and I actually worked on the cinnamon version in the beginning together, and
Mm.
I've picked up some of it from that. So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And Ben, I've known of Ben for a long time. He used to reach out to me on my old channel. So like
Yeah,
it's kind of funny because I quit making content on my old channel and I noticed that so it's kind of funny like I basically made a kind of a interesting decision where
yeah,
um I noticed that there was like a lot of people from South America that were checking out like Luke Smith's stuff. And I was like, well, I speak Spanish. Like, why don't I have a Linux channel in Spanish? So I did that for like a few years. And I have like 2,500 subscribers. Or I
mm,
used to. I don't know how many I have now. I haven't checked. But I had some really big YouTube, like somebody blew me up in the Spanish world. His name is Zatiel, and he blew me up. He just like he saw a
yeah.
video that I made on the Crux Linux installation. That's kind of how I. But before that, me and Ben, we were talking, and
Oh my god.
I did check out your distro, your old one, the Storm OS, many years ago. I think I even did a video on it.
I don't remember that review.
Well, it was in Spanish, so
Oh yeah, you're right. I don't even remember that video. Truth be told, it might have. I don't think I even saw that review.
yeah. Yeah, it was good though. I actually like the simplicity of it, and so I've installed a couple of versions of Accretion. That's one thing I've noticed is the simplicity is really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and also, yeah, you're not the only one who's done a review on it. Some folks have started to do it, but I thought yours was like done pretty darn well.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just yeah, anyway, I really liked I wanna actually do like the whole project a little bit of
The whole,
justice. Yeah.
all the versions.
Yeah,
Cool.
make like all the versions and I gotta figure out like a way to get people to watch it for more than like 4 minutes, but yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's because no offense, but 4 minutes is not going to give it
No.
a clear perspective to
No,
people,
no, what
unfortunately.
I mean is I want people to stick around for more than 4 minutes.
Oh yeah, yeah. More than just watch 4 minutes of the video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Because
been kind
honestly,
of
they're gonna.
uh,
The problem is if they do that, they won't really get a clear picture of what we're trying to give people. That's just
yeah.
not how it works.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to probably try to do that sometime in the future. So I
Yeah,
really wanted to do that. And
yeah.
all right, so besides Linux, like what are some things you guys enjoy doing?
Oh, that's gonna be a very, very broad topic, I think.
It's fine. I mean, we got like
Yeah.
a little bit.
Well, I guess I'll start this off. I enjoy tinkering with you know video games. I actually run my own Star Wars Galaxies server, and for the few that may not know, that is a game that is pre World of Warcraft, pre Star Wars: The Old Republic. It was one of the first, um, what should we call it? First, it's it was the first Star Wars MMO for the PC, and it came out in the Windows XP era in 2003, and it had a very rocky start. It did not age well cosmetically. But these days, it is ran mostly on private EMU, not private, but it's ran on emulated servers
Mm-hmm.
now, and these servers do not require a subscription, but they are run purely through donations, and the reason for that is because it's very, very the code is very heavy and it's very expensive to run something like that. So that's just one of the hobbies that I have, and it's kind of a hobby project kind of thing.
Okay.
It's and Jonathan will tell you it's a very involved process to get something like that, isn't it, Jonathan?
It definitely can be. Yeah, I'll talk about that here in a minute whenever we get to meet. So
Yeah, we'll get to you in just a minute. But yeah, I also enjoy going out to a local bar called Tulane and singing from time to time, and just singing a lot of old like Aerosmith, AC/DC, stuff
Mm.
like that I enjoy listening to somewhat. So you know, uh, just different rock songs, that kind of thing. So, and I do have some videos of me doing that up on my channel if anyone wants to check that out.
Okay.
And over to Jonathan then.
okay. So a couple of things. Specifically, I at least at the moment have been doing some YouTube stuff. It is Twinix based, but I enjoy the YouTube creation process. And making videos can definitely be something where like it can be a passion project for lack of better words,
Mm.
and I enjoy doing that. My channel is very very small, but it's just something I do for fun occasionally. We have our accretion channel, which is something I've been more filtering through. That's I wish Jacob was here; he could tell you a lot about that,
Mm.
and we make sure to release once a week there.
Yeah.
But I also really enjoy music. It's been a long time since I've picked up an instrument, but I do have a keyboard laying over there up against the wall. I ordered a new stand for it. I'm going to be getting on Sunday. I'm going to try to go back into that because I used to play piano, and that was my way of kind of connecting with the world almost, and it was really nice. And I'm going to get back to that. But I kind of want to merge the two things together, and that's kind of like my little hobby thing, and that is by bringing the keyboard into like making music for my
Oh, jeepers crap.
All right.
oh my
Um.
gosh.
Yeah. I know. I used to have a train of dogs. I'm originally from Alaska, so I used to have like a whole like dog team and do like dog mushing and stuff.
Right, right.
Uh, so anyway, and what about you, Darren? What do you like to do for fun?
Hmm. Some of the stuff I can't talk about because it involves tweakers, getting rid of them, moving them along. Um, I don't know. I play 7 Days to Die, Civilization 6. I'm not very happy. I spent $141 on Civ 7, and basically they released a game that wasn't done.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, I was not a happy man. But I play a lot of games. Um, that's really about it now. While walking my dog,
Hmm.
because I have my dog. She's over here laying underneath my feet right now. And that's really about it. I went messing with the ISO. And I don't know.
Yeah,
I
and
seem to enjoy being grumpy.
yeah, I know, I
What?
know that, I know the feeling. Like when you're like getting around 50, like, I mean, and like if you suffer from like PTSD of any kind, like people don't understand. Like if you, I speak from personal experience. I had a work,
Oy, my
I have a work,
apologies.
no problem. So I had a workplace accident a few years ago, and I just had like this really bad case of PTSD, and like just like the smallest things would just literally just get under my skin so badly. It was just it took me
Yeah.
a while to get through it. Yeah, it was really something else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I do enjoy going to Walmart though.
All right.
Yes and no, because it's called Darren Goes to Walmart. That's always entertaining.
We have got to convince you to record those sessions. That is going to be awesome.
Yeah,
It
make some.
usually ends up with someone going to jail or me almost going to jail because I smacked them or whatever because they were just being stupid.
Yeah.
That and tweakers get tased a lot at our Walmart. They twitch a lot, and I really enjoy that.
Good.
You
If I
make.
happen to be by the door and they're running out with a TV set, I tend to use my cane to trip them. They get mad at me. The cop thanks me. The cop tases them. I thank the cop
Yeah.
for tasing them. Ask him if I could get my camera out and he could do it again. They tell me no, but still, you know.
Yeah.
Last time I walked into Walmart because we have cops at our Walmart, actually stationed in our WalMarts now,
Oh wow.
Oh
and
my god.
because of the theft. And I walk by, ask them how they're doing, and everything else, and thank them for
Oh,
being
it's
there. And then I said, don't forget, tasing a tweaker's okay. They twitch a lot. They may smell afterwards because they're going to wet their pants, but that's okay. They laugh. I laugh. Everybody else laughs. It's funny. The tweaker
Oh,
storms
Lord.
off and becomes a Karen.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds kind of funny. Yeah. It's been a while since I've been at a Walmart in the States. It's probably been 10 years or so, but I, yeah, I can't remember what that was like, but
Yeah.
I remember like, cuz I originally come from Alaska, and so I would go back to work in Alaska sometimes, and so yeah, you would go to like the Walmart there in Anchorage, and Anchorage is like it's a small town, like it's got like 300,000 people, but it's got like problems of a big metropolitan area. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
we got a bunch of homeless and stuff, and so basically the reason why we have a bunch of homeless is because we got a bunch of natives who get kicked out of their village because they're just
Oh man.
they get they get out of control, and so the people in the village just kick him out of the village. He's like, you can't stay here anymore, so they wind up in Anchorage, and they're
Right.
homeless.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of our homeless problems here, they pretty much did it to themselves.
Yes.
They really did because during COVID, they wouldn't pay rent. They couldn't get evicted. And now we got a bunch of them going, why can't I rent an apartment? Well, because you owe a landlord $5,000 because you didn't pay rent for 2.5 years and you didn't work a deal out to pay it up and they had to evict you. Well,
Yeah.
I'll be on the record for 3 years. You ain't going to rent an apartment. You know, I have no sympathy for them if that's the reason why, because about 95% of them all refused to pay rent during that time. And they worked and they had jobs and they still wouldn't pay rent. I had a neighbor that lived behind me on the west side, not on the west side of Spokane. And they went 2.5 years not paying my,
Oh,
excuse me.
you're in Spokane. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad lives about an hour away from there in a little town called St. John.
Know where it is. Been there, done that.
Yeah, my dad lives out there. I go out there sometimes.
Right. Well, I thought you were in Australia or something.
I'm in Mexico. I live
Oh.
in Mexico.
Oh, you live in Mexico now.
Yeah,
Oh.
I've lived here off and on for 25 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Darren, you're mixing people up is what's happening, bud.
No, it's all good. Yeah, like I don't have anything in the States anymore. Like I've like, like here's my Mexican driver's license. uh, let's see, my permanent resident card. Yeah. The only thing I got in the states is a passport.
So you have dual citizenship then.
Yes. Yeah. Dual citizenship is nice because I don't know, man. I'm still freaking out. Like there's a lot of things going on in the states. There's like crazy.
Well, a lot of things going on here. Just you can't always believe the news.
No.
That's all I can say.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of interesting, because um I remember like when like the Black Lives Matter riots were going on, and something you probably know, like in Coeur d'Alene, like all those people let them do their protest, but they're like, "Hey, you're not going to burn our place down." Like they all showed up with guns and stuff. And I was
Yep.
like, "That's cool." Like I think, that's cool. Like
Yep.
um hey,
I remember in Spokane, the same thing happened, except the cops here in Spokane, Black Lives Matter started protesting.
mm,
And even though we have an idiot for at the time for a governor,
yeah.
just let them. It's their right, and all that crap. So what? Well, that type of attitude. The cops weren't having it. It wasn't like Seattle where they lost the entire section of Seattle and they declared themselves a sovereign nation. They tried that in Spokane, and it didn't go over well for them because the cops weren't having it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I
they gave
remember
them the tear
that
gas and
yeah.
everything and said no. I mean, they were upset. Oh, the cops were so mean. And the people all around here are going, well, don't burn places down and we wouldn't mind you,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but they always
I
want to
think
burn something down. So,
yeah. Yeah. So like but like there in Coeur d'Alene though, I thought that was really cool when everybody just showed up and said, "Hey, we'll let you do your protest. We'll take pictures with you. We'll be cool with you, but you're not going to burn our place down. You're just
yeah,
not going to do it."
no, you don't
And
want to do that there.
And I think actually people respected that. Actually, even the Black Lives Matter, protesters actually kind of respected that. They were like, "Yeah, these guys are cool." Like,
Uh, I think it was more they were afraid of what all the rednecks there were going to do in Coeur d'Alene.
oh yeah, no, no, don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, yeah. I mean, there are some people that are pretty well known there, but anyway, Jonathan was raising his hand or something.
It was an accident. Sorry.
No,
I
no,
didn't
you're
mean
No,
to
good.
do
go
that.
ahead, because if you don't get in here, you'll never get in. We're Gen Xers. We can talk
No,
for
no,
days.
no,
Oh,
no.
I
Like, it
know,
was
right?
legitimately
Yeah.
an accident. My hands twitch a little bit sometimes, but yeah, yeah. I really wasn't gonna say anything. I was interested in what you guys were talking about. I was just listening in.
Yeah,
Man, we're
yeah,
Gen Xers. We can go on for hours.
yeah. So yeah, I was originally born in Lewiston, Idaho, which is a couple hours south, and
Yep.
I moved to Alaska when I was a kid, and so I was raised there. And then when I was about 23, I wound up here in Mexico.
Yeah, I grew up in Spokane. I
Yeah.
went to East Valley High School out in Liberty. No, not Liberty Lake. Sorry, Otis Orchards.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, I lived in Liberty Lake. My dad taught at the high school, so I got to go to his high school.
Oh, okay.
Weird as having your dad for a teacher.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't have a choice. He's the only one that taught civics. Um, I miss the Gen X days. I really
I
do.
do too.
Mhm.
I want the '80s to come back.
Yeah.
All these Gen Zers will be crying,
Oh,
and
I
we'd be
know.
laughing at them.
I
Oh
know.
man,
That's
you know,
kind of the funny thing, because like, as someone who participates and does a lot of development work in open source, a lot of these Gen Zers that have kind of like waged war on the whole Linux project, and Linus Torvalds and Richard Stallman, I'm like laughing my ass off because I'm like, dude, do you think like we care what your little like your little protests or whatever? It's like look, I mean, seriously, like if you would have grown up in our generation, we would have beat you up.
Oh yeah.
We'd have just flat out
That
beat
is,
your ass.
I'm sorry, but
If you cried about
Captain,
being
you're right.
beaten up,
That is so damn true.
if you cried about being beaten up, you would get beaten up again.
Yeah, you'll get it worse.
And
Yeah.
if you didn't fight back, your parents would beat you too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you couldn't win.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I got in a fight in high school, and the first words out of my dad's mouth was, "Did you win?"
Yeah. Pretty
Yeah,
much. Yeah.
I beat him bloody, stuck his head through a locker. Good. I bet he won't try to bully you anymore. I said, "Nope."
Yeah. Yeah, my dad was like he was cool like that. Like he was like, okay, if you have to fight, then you fight. Like you do that. But he's like, if I ever catch you being a bully, it's over. I'm gonna
Yeah.
beat your ass.
Oh yeah. If I would have bullied, I'd have had my ass handed to me.
Yeah, yeah.
You
That's
know. I mean, I remember being a little kid, and mom would yell at me in the grocery store, and I'd keep going. You know how kids are.
huh?
You know, when they're like 4 and 5 and 6, and you get an attitude. My mom would be beating the crap out of my ass in the store. She'd whoop my ass. And then the neighbors in the store would come over and offer to help beat my ass. I couldn't win,
Yeah.
you know?
That's what I like about Mexico, man. The parents are that way here a lot of times. I mean, they're not like, I mean, on one end, they're cool with their kids, but on the other end, they don't put up with a bunch of nonsense. I mean, they
Oh,
call
no.
there's, like the joke is about what we call a chancla volante, which is the flying slipper, the flying sandal. That's what they use to keep their kids in line. They just throw the sandal across the room and smack the kid. And
Basically, they're like how my mom was. Don't make me get in the back seat.
yeah, and then they have what they call a chicote, which is just like like a cable, and they'll smack a kid with that. And they usually braid
Ooh, ow.
it. Yeah.
When I went to high school, they were still giving hacks out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I remember one time with my grandma, I had a mouth. I was a smart ass little kid.
I think we.
Okay, I wasn't little, but I was a smart ass kid.
Yeah.
And we were at my grandma's house on my mom's side of the family. And grandma I thought was being mean. I stormed out of the house. I didn't know grandma was behind me. And I looked at my grandfather who's sitting outside in his lawn chair drinking a beer and said, "Grandma's being the B word."
Ooh.
Grandpa laughed, told me to run. Don't come back. Don't look back. You just run. Run as fast as you can while laughing. I made it about 3 steps. And that 3 steps, grandma had me by the back of my neck, a switch in the other hand that she just got off the tree. My pants were around my ankles, so my bare ass was hanging out, and that woman whooped me.
Oh,
That's how things
Yeah.
were. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I learned real quick, keep your mouth shut.
Yeah. Don't call mama the B word.
Or grandma.
Oh,
Grandma.
God.
Yeah.
Well, it was the F
Well,
word.
I mean,
Grandma is being an effing B word.
yeah.
And grandpa, like I said, he agreed and he was laughing. Then he told me to run. Don't come back. Don't look. Don't come back. You just run. Keep running, son. While laughing at me because he knew what was coming.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know if I ever called my grandparent, like my grandma, the B word. My mom probably. My mom was kind of an interesting one. Like
Hmm.
she, I don't know. My parents were very young when I was born. Like they were both 19, and so you can just imagine like they had no life experience whatsoever. None to speak of. I mean, I was 24 when my son was born, so
Yeah.
I was 19 with my first kid.
yeah,
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and I was also raised, I wasn't raised by boomers. I was raised by the greatest generation.
Oh yeah.
I got it even worse as growing up as a kid. Let me tell you. All my friends are complaining about their boomer parents, and I'm like, you should try my parents.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, my grandfather. Well, my grandparents. I
Yeah.
lived with my grandparents off and on, throughout when I was growing up. You know, my parents, they had like a real volatile relationship, and like they were like separated like half the time, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's really interesting though. There's there are some things about the Gen X generation I miss, but then there's also other things I'm like, like the bullying, like I could do without that
Oh
personally.
yeah, but
I mean,
the,
it
the
toughened me up,
lesson was
but
me being bullied was, and then fighting back was, you don't take shit. You stand up for yourself.
yep,
Someone bullies you, you stand up to them.
That's
So,
right.
and life lesson is, it's just like when I go to Walmart and there's a, I hate to say it, extreme left tweaker,
right,
and I throw them all in the same group, and they're having an attitude. I- My attitude back is get over it. I don't care what you think. And that's some of the things I learned from being
yeah,
bullied. That you have to just stand up for yourself and not care.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. No, I agree. I just like I would, in my generation, like or our generation, I should say, yeah, it was definitely different. Like people don't know what a latchkey kid is today.
no.
Like they don't get it. They don't
I was
get that they're like,
babysitting at 9. I was babysitting at 9. I had a key to the house at 9, and I would, you know, because I went to, at that time I had to ride a bus. I'd get home and my mom wasn't home. I'd just go inside, make something to eat, and
yeah,
that was that.
yeah,
And do my thing.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, kids today have no idea. I mean, they think it's illegal for a 9-year-old to babysit, and it is now. Wasn't when I was 9.
No,
It was
no,
expected.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, you had to just like people had to figure it out, and
Yeah.
it was like sometimes like my parents when I was like 7 or 8, like they still would send my sisters to a babysitter, but I would stay at home a lot of
Yeah.
times. And then when I was like 9 or 10, then it was like then that changed. Then all of a sudden, I was the one that was like, okay, you make sure you give them something to eat, and the whole 9 yards. And my sisters, especially my older sister, who is 3 years younger than me, she was actually smarter than me most of the time. But yeah, it was really interesting. Like they don't understand. Like people don't understand. Like there was literally a at 10 o'clock every night they would be like, do you know where your kids are? Because like
Oh yeah. I
like
remember.
parents would forget they had kids. Like
I don't think they cared. I think
I
they were
don't
busy
think so.
doing their own
That
thing
house,
until we were
yeah,
old enough.
exactly. And it was like do you know where your children
Yeah,
are?
that was an actual commercial. Do you know where your kids are? It's ten
Every
o'clock at
night
night.
I
Yeah.
remember that. Like there's so many things, and like I'm a little jaded too. It's funny because sometimes like I write on like because I'll have Chat GPT write like all my descriptions, right? I'm like, yeah, write it in the voice of a jaded Gen Xer. Like I'll tell them what I want to talk about. I'm like, write me this paragraph in the voice of a jaded Gen
I think that's part of the
Xer. And
one of the reasons why Jonathan's in charge of the wiki,
uh,
because if I wrote it in they wouldn't understand it
yeah,
because it would just make no sense, and B, it would be in Gen X style,
yeah,
you know, and people would think I'm an idiot.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all. That's
No,
also the
I
reason
don't think
why
so.
Liv. That's also the reason why Liv and I are the ones that are putting stuff on the socials. Because I have a feeling I'd wake up one day and Darren would have posted something special.
Which would have really pissed off a lot of people, and I have no problem
Probably.
doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
It's funny. I actually got a warning about 3 days ago because somebody's sitting there kind of berating me on my take about utils, and so he was kind of berating me, and I looked at him. I go, "Pudwhacker said what?" And it was like, like the younger people don't know what a pudwhacker is, but I got in trouble for that. Like YouTube reached out to me. You can't be talking like that to people.
I got I got banned on Facebook. I call
Yeah.
it Facebook for using the word tallywhacker.
Oh, okay.
So, I also have to start watching about when Darren is using our Accretion account on videos now, because I think he got himself filtered yesterday when he was on your stream.
Oh
Because it
no.
took like 5-10 minutes before it actually went through.
Yeah, that was weird. I don't know what
Yeah.
happened
All
there
because
because
of
I
the
don't
word.
have I allow all comments, so I don't have any filters. Because
Right.
yeah, but I
Yeah,
guess
that was
maybe
weird
there are
because
some filters.
the only dirty word was the word shit.
Oh, that shouldn't have.
It
That shouldn't
I
have.
don't. I think it was just a YouTube burping or whatever, the internet burping causing it. To be honest,
Could be.
one of those little things in the internet. And Jonathan thinks I was being filtered because I can't seem to be able to live stream from my personal account. I can post videos, but I can't live stream.
I think they
Oh,
took that ability away from you. I still think that.
Oh
I don't
god.
understand that shit. I mean, I never did anything that I know of because I was never live streaming. I just decided I was going to start live streaming one day,
oh,
and I
oh,
couldn't
oh,
do it.
oh, oh, no, you can. You have to go in and set the settings. You have to actually ask them
Oh
to
yeah,
get a
you have to set
video
it to
longer than 15 minutes to be able to live
yes,
stream.
yes, and
We
also
tried all
Darren, when you
that.
go to
Really?
Jonathan helped me try to set it up. Jonathan helped me try to set up, and
Mhm.
it just it just sits there and spins. It won't
yeah,
start. It won't get to the point I can click the start button.
Right. And like the thing is, we can stream on the Accretion account fine. I can stream on mine just fine. It seems to only be with Darren's private account.
Yeah, I
and
guess I have set some right.
also Darren, make sure your channel is set to not safe for kids.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Especially
well,
when I'm playing 7 Days to Die.
yeah, that's.
Because I have special mods in my 7 Days to Die. We have naked zombies,
Oh yeah. God.
and they're quite graphically detailed. You
Oh,
can blow their
Oh
legs
my
off, their
gosh.
oh
arms
god.
off, their heads
Yeah,
off. It's great. Love
and
that kind of stuff.
actually, that reminds me of an incident on my Star Wars server where I accidentally introduced a nude mod in one of my updates.
What's wrong with that? Go for it.
I, yeah, I actually, there was a mod on Mod the Galaxy where they actually had male and female nudity all over the damn place. So if you took your character's clothes off, you could actually see the whole kit and caboodle right there. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
Okay. Let's like, I'm going to stop this conversation right
Yeah, I
here.
think we need to kind of cool it. I think we're making
Yeah,
this poor guy
sorry,
nervous.
Chastity.
No,
Uh,
you're fine. You're fine. I
I
got
had to
thick
bring a
skin. You
little
don't
bit of
have to. You
humor
don't have.
into
Yeah.
the stream.
No, you're good. You're good. Absolutely. No, this is your guys' stream as far as I'm
No,
concerned.
I know.
So.
I had to bring a little bit of
But you know what I
uh,
miss from the '80s? I wish like it could be recreated. The
what?
Take
music.
care on girls.
No, the music.
Oh yeah, definitely the music.
God, I
Oh
get.
God,
Oh, I
yeah.
mean,
I
there
gotta
is
tell
some
you,
good music acts today, but it is nothing like it was in the
it's
'80s.
nothing like it used to be. No, because I mean, back then you had bands like Foghat, Aerosmith, just so many classics that I hate to use this as an example, but there's so many kids out there these days that just don't know what good classic rock and roll we had back then.
Yeah.
What upsets me is that we're calling it classic rock and roll.
No, I mean
I
we had.
know, right? That is
Oh,
crazy to
geez,
me.
sorry.
Like, it's probably
I don't know
been
the
classic
proper.
rock and roll for about 20 years, but like to us, it's
No, I
like,
know. I mean, we had such good, die
oh,
hard, down good,
yeah,
kick ass rock and roll back then, and
yeah.
none of the kids these days really know,
Mm,
except maybe a select few. Some of them just don't even know what the heck you're talking about.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. What was it like it was
Yeah.
a show on like some like Netflix or
Yeah.
something that
Yeah.
played Master of Puppets, and all these kids were like,
Oh,
"Oh my god, that is the coolest thing I ever heard!" And so then
Yeah.
all of a sudden there's like yeah, that's only like the third largest band in history, and
yeah. Yeah.
best album of all time probably.
It's you know, it's just a damn shame that all these kids out there, they don't know what we older folk don't know, or they don't know the music that you guys grew up
Benji, Benji,
with. What?
you are not even close to old. You're 33.
No, I know. I'm just
Oh,
saying. It's a shame that they don't know the music that all of us do.
Yeah, that's a little better. I would say you can't
Right,
throw
my
yourself
bad,
into
but
being old.
yeah,
You're
they
not
they
over
don't
50.
know they
Till
don't know
you're
the
half a
music that
century
we all
old,
enjoy.
till
It's
you are
very
half a
much.
century old, you cannot say you're old.
I
y'all are
get you
making
there,
me feel
but
like a baby.
You
Making me
are.
feel like a baby. I'm like 23, so like fight me.
yeah, he's
Oh, it's easy to fight you. I just reach behind me. There's a little thing over there. I can, or just flip a little switch in the router there, and bam.
oh god. But
Nah,
yeah,
nah.
yeah. Either way, Darren, you're right. I am like the second youngest of us all in this group.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
think
either
I'm
way,
older than our host here. I don't know. How old are you?
Shaston, think he's.
Is he okay?
I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, I think he's close to Darren's age, but I'm not for sure.
You all talk like I'm old.
Uh,
If you call me a neckbeard, we're going to fight. I will
oh god.
drive to where you live and we will fight.
Yeah, that's a good one. Where the
I
hell
am
did
not a
he go?
neckbeard.
Oh,
I have a beard, but I'm not a neckbeard.
yeah.
Very
And
manly.
Jonathan was in such a rush for me to get on the show. I didn't even have a damn lunch yet.
Dude, we had a scheduled time. You had to be here.
I know, I know. I'm sorry, I was helping a family member. What can I say?
I I
What the
spanned
heck
them.
happened?
Oh,
Oh,
Oh yeah.
yep, we
we
hear
can
you
hear
now.
you. Yeah.
Anywho, so
Yeah,
yep,
yeah,
we hear you
yeah.
just fine.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, I just turned the volume on the stream. Give it a second.
Yeah.
It's got to catch up to you.
Yeah. It's all good. How? Yeah, we're just checking something. But yeah, it's looking good. All right. Yeah. Let's double check. Hold on.
I'm waiting to see. I'm not hearing you.
No.
Yeah, you're lighting up now too. A little bot.
Yeah. Yeah. Very odd.
Well, I'll say this: I blame my ex-wife. That works. Just blame her.
Yeah.
Always blame the ex-wife. You're
Yeah.
lucky. I do. You want her?
Oh, yeah.
I have a
Yeah.
current girlfriend you can have too if you want. I'll give her to you too. I'll send her down there to Mexico.
Oh, God. No, no, no. Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm 56.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was, or at least I've heard it was.
Actually, I wrote my first computer program in assembly language in 1984. Yeah, I was 16.
Wow.
Well, I started in BASIC and quickly went to assembly, but my first computer was the Tandy-Color Computer 2, and then I got a Tandy-Color Computer 3. Then I built my own circuit board to plug into what they called the multi-pack so I could have MFM hard drives. And I'd gotten a Coco 3 at that time, the latest, greatest, 512K. Built that interface to take an MFM controller card so A, I could plug it into the Coco, and B, be able to access the hard drives from OS 9 level 2. And that was in 1987 when I got that all built. And then after that, I was 110% in nothing but assembly language in a multitasking environment.
Yeah, Darren's been around around the computer clock more than a few times.
But on that note, I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to have a cigarette.
Okay.
And I'll let y'all talk to Jonathan and Benji, and I'll be able to hear y'all though.
Yeah, he'll be able to hear us. He just won't be able to say nothing. But going forward. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
This audio is going back and forth. Welcome back, Cheston. Are you having
Welcome back.
connection issues or some crap? What the heck?
Oh.
Yeah, they do it every now and again. Yeah. Oh God. That's the problem with certain streaming platforms is that they'll just boot you off after a certain amount of time. Yeah, it's what it is. For yeah,
I mean, it's been honestly, it's been a lot of You can hear me okay, right? Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Let me refresh the page because I'm cutting in and out.
But yeah, honestly, it's been a lot of fun. It's kind of whatever you want to happen is going to happen, right? Because at the end of the day, there's a few files that you have to really know what you want in them. So you have the packages x86 64 file, which is basically just all the packages that are going to be installed onto the ISO image itself.
Mm,
Um, so you got to be informed about what's good to go. Basically, you have to know what dependency works well with another dependency, kind of thing, for the most part. And that part took a little bit to learn, but I've been having a lot of fun working on the plasma version. I'm actually looking at potentially switching out our PAMAC version with something called Octopi, just because it's Qt based, has the same functionality, works similarly, but it looks nicer and more native to
yeah.
the environment. Um, but the big thing that I think that's been the most difficult thing for me overall is remembering that we only have so many people on our team, so we can only scale up so much. Like, uh,
Yeah.
I'm not going to go too far in the detail, but Darren and I were talking about potentially trying to do a net recovery. So what it would do is net meaning net. So basically, they would hit a button, it would install time shift on their system, turn around, pull back up, and then restore on their computer as a way of fixing their computer. Um, but like in order to do that, we have to make sure we have maintain like have people there to make sure to maintain that type of thing. But yeah, overall, the ISO image creation process itself is not that hard like at all. It's if you're familiar with Arch, you can figure it out in a matter of a couple months. Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
You're good. No worries.
It
Eh,
happens.
blame the Gen Zers. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
Mhm. 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 Yeah. Mhm.
I'm on.
I know Jonathan has a couple of times. I've looked into them from time to time, but you know, the Wayland ones like Hyperland and stuff, I'm still learning. But for me personally, I think they're a they're very interesting to, let's say, look at. But I'm just so heavy doggone invested in XFCE that I just, you know, I couldn't see myself maybe daily driving it without spending a lot of time invested in it and all this and that. So it's a very interesting project. Don't get me wrong. It's just the fact that I don't know. I couldn't see myself using it as a daily GUI personally.
So I'm actually running Hyperland as we're talking right now.
Yeah.
I like it. It updates too much for my liking, to be honest, sometimes.
Yeah.
But I think they should slow that down. But
Yeah. Yeah. It's a very interesting. Yeah. Go ahead.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's a period of time there I was going to be maintaining a Hyperland version of Accretion, but then I was kind of like, is it because of how fast Jakulit, which is a config maintainer, because of how fast he does his stuff. Imagine making an ISO every week for that. That it would be insane. The amount of
That
effort
would
that
be
go
way
into
too
it.
much stress on all of us. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's got a slew in his project.
right.
Yeah, his calamaris is so involved. It's like, my golly, it's like,
Calamars is kind of like its own little computer language, basically. It took me a while to get used to it, but once I figured it out, it wasn't bad. It's a pain.
it's a pain in the butt for sure. Especially, for somebody who's not done it before, it's like, oh, it can be a headache to a degree.
I mean, it took me 6 months to figure it out, but and I can't believe it took that long because it's common sense. We had the network config file and the settings in Calamari's in the wrong spot. That's why we couldn't do anything from the net,
Yeah.
you know, and it was just down at the bottom of the list, and I was like, what the hell? That ain't supposed to be there, but it took me 6 months to figure it out
Yeah.
in the settings file that's where the problem was.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean, something else to keep in mind though too, just back Darren on this. That was
yeah.
also in the beginning days of learning how calamari works too. So that was
There's
part of
no
it.
really
Yeah.
wiki on it or anything else.
You just sort of have to figure it out. It's a
Yeah, and
lot of,
some of it I figured out because of, believe it or not, Claude. Claude's great.
yeah.
Like I needed to know the different variable names and what they were to write the postscript properly. And I finally just went to Claude and said, "What are the variables for calamaris on Arch?" And it popped
Yeah.
all the variable list up for me on what all the variables were. I was like, "Damn, it actually worked."
Mm. Everything.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
had problems with like writing code, and I'll put the code into Claude because I'm looking at it going, "This should work. Why is this not working? This should work." You know,
Yeah, exactly.
or in the wrong spot, whatever. And I'm like,
Yeah.
really? It was that simple. But
Mhm.
Yeah, that's nuts. Yeah.
I mean, so like I used to like GNOME, and then I started having to work on GNOME, and I went, "This is the stupidest crap ever," and I left it. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. Oh, good. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
So, like, that was funny.
No, I get it. Yeah. Sounds like. Yeah. uh, Uh,
I won't.
yeah.
But I'm so old, I'm stuck in my ways, and I like X11, and it works.
Yeah, it shouldn't. It should just be version number bumps. Yeah. We've ran into that too. We've ran into that too. Yeah. Yeah. I I think it has a lot to do with the fact that don't put let's try not to take this the wrong way. Some people think they're more special than other people and they think they can do whatever they want because of that. I'll leave it at that. I tried to be careful how I said that. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I don't want your comment section to be like, ah. Okay, you and we got to talk about that. So I guess a no is what I say because I used to run OpenSUSE. I left Tumbleweed because I kept breaking packages. Um, or at least on like all of my installs, it would break. It would break more than even Arch would whenever I was running it. I didn't like Leap because of how ancient it was. So I was just kind of like, yeah, guess we're going back to Arch. So
I don't mean to interrupt, but Jonathan, look at my screen.
I see it. You got OBS to work. What'd you do?
I went and got the appropriate package and
Yeah.
put it in the repository and then upgraded.
Cool, cool.
Now it works.
Okay. So,
Mm. Yes. Okay.
How do I
Eh,
put this? You know what's
eh.
better? At least something. There is something.
Okay, okay. So Zipper is still slow as all hell, and it will be forever. We know this. They just won't fix it. But their mirrors are a tiny, tiny, tiny bit faster because they're caching now on some. Because they, yeah, yeah, tiny bit. But I remember reading something about that. That was actually about the time when I left it again. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Fair.
I
Fair.
just like to say, if you want an idea how old I am, by the way, just to throw this out there, I started using Linux in 1991 when it first came out. Yes, that was my first experience. The only reason I went back and forth from Windows and it was because of games. That's it. I couldn't play any games back then or anything that I wanted to do. But yeah, it was that's how old I am. I mean, I was around when and I played with Linux the very first time in 1991. See, I never liked BSD, to be honest. Yeah, right. Modems. My first modem, by the way, was a direct connect 300 baud. Pick up the headset, dial the phone number, push a button, hang it up. 300 bauds, that's 30 keystrokes a second. That's pretty damn slow. I was also the first person that took because I had the Coco. We had my first well, it was a Coco 2. And the Cocos, none of them came with an RS-232 port. It was a bit banger port. 600 baud was the max. I rewrote the code, wrote my own code basically in assembly, and managed to get 1200 baud out of it, which was impressive at the time. Which I couldn't believe I got it to do that, but I managed to do it. And that was one of my things that really got me into programming. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. I'm off on a tangent. I'll be quiet. Didn't they have a 68,000 series processor in those? Yeah, good old days. Oh, cool.
You put Gen 2 on a Mac? Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, that's
Ouch.
I can tell you from experience that Macs are still just as quirky as they were back then, if not worse. I have a Mac, I have a
yeah.
MacBook sitting over there on the windowsill.
It
It's
makes a good
open.
doorstop.
It does, but that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
It's because Mac hardware locks everything, and they say they're not
Yeah.
hardware locking anymore, but they are. And
Yeah.
they hardware lock everything, so you have to go to them to use their software.
It's pretty freaking sad.
It really is. And so you end up if you buy and being because it's hardware locked, if you replace, let's say, your Wi-Fi card and any generic Wi-Fi card you can put in it, right? But
Uh,
it won't work
no.
because it wants a particular type and they've got it hardware locked to the motherboard. So you're not able to use a different Wi-Fi device.
No.
So you got to go pay them for a device that does exist
But
normally generically, but Apple bought, wants you to buy their version of it, which is the exact
yeah.
same parts and everything else, so they can charge you a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
You know?
Otherwise the hardware is going to completely brick itself and ain't going to fucking work.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
No. Yeah. Songs. Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, they rent it. Yeah, just like Windows, you're renting it. Same thing with Mac, you're renting it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Renting the software.
pretty much. Yeah.
I
They
imagine it
did that
did.
to a lot of people, though. They
Yeah.
really did.
Yeah. Sick.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they just
Oh
keep
yeah.
making artificial limitations. I mean, like look at Windows 11's requirements. You have Mac. You literally are not technically allowed to run Mac OS without Mac hardware, technically. So, of course, it's going to blow up. The only open, really open platform right now.
Mm,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, I just looked it up on the percentages from the stack counter, and we're at 3.99%. We dropped a little bit.
Yeah.
But if you take unknown added into Linux and Chrome, which is technically bastardized Linux, but you add them all together, it puts us a little over 11%. I mean, unknown, what the hell else is there? You know?
I mean, there's other stuff.
Steam Deck, all these other, you know.
No,
Maybe
Steam is
on
based on Steam Deck is Linux.
Yeah.
right, but the thing is, they could be talking about like BSDs and like different ones of
Yeah,
those
if you
Android.
talk about BSD, Android, all these and that,
I
yeah.
have one.
Yeah, and I
I
think
don't.
that part of that is I don't think they're counting that. I just think the unknown is just, because Linux inherently does not go out and ping and say, "Hi, I've been installed here." You know, I mean, there's an option in Calamares for it, but I turned it off, got rid of it, deleted it out of the settings file.
Yeah,
I mean, it'd be nice to know not exactly how many people are installing it and running it, but again, I think that kind of violates privacy.
would. Yeah. Mm, yeah. It's a lot of money for one of those devices.
Not much.
Like
No, they're about $500 for a good one.
$500 roughly. They're roughly about. I hate to use this example, but they're roughly about the same size as an iPad. Roughly, or not the same size, but the same price. It's
But the
it
beauty of
costs a pretty penny. Uh-huh.
Steam Deck is it is running Linux. It's running Arch now.
Yeah,
They've
it's
switched it over
running
to Arch.
a mobile version of Arch Linux.
Yeah.
Which
Again,
you gotta
and
admit,
I
is
got to
pretty
tell you,
cool.
Arch versus say Debian or Linux Mint or Ubuntu, Arch is killing them on speed. I mean, it's just phenomenal. I mean, if it was to install Linux Mint, and I love Linux Mint to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
but if I was to install Linux Mint when I'm playing 7 Days to Die, my frame rate's around 80. When I'm playing it under Linux, it's dramatically higher. And we're talking seriously like 140 frames per second versus 80.
It's
You know,
hold on.
Yeah.
I gotta go to
We
a
got to pull
screen
you
I
up
can
on the
see you
stream.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Oh,
see.
it's an Arch logo. Hold.
Yeah, I saw that the other day.
Yeah. 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 Well, I have to say that made my day seeing your arm have a Arch logo. That's pretty funny.
Oh, I need to check your stream.
Yeah, but yeah, I
Ben,
found that pretty
Ben, Ben,
bad.
Ben, Ben, Ben. Shh.
What?
Sorry, you're coming through the speakers now. I'm hearing you. I thought you were talking over him. Okay, let's have you talk, sir. Yeah, you. I don't know. I'm trying to hear you on the.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I see you lighting up.
Yeah. Yeah. It's. I will say it is kind of annoying to have to do that. Hmm. Mhm.
I haven't heard the word or the words void Linux in a long time, personally.
Nor have I. Golly. Yeah.
I wonder. I know you're making me wonder.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Grab that. Ugh.
that's right. Like, what? Why? That's the part my brain's trying to figure out. Why? You're like, that's weird. Like something, maybe talking with main people who develop Void might be a question to ask them. I don't know. Maybe an IRC chat. Mhm. Right, right. Hmm. Okay. I feel like conversations need to be had if that's the case, because okay, you're presenting one thing in your live installer. Is there like there's no pop up or anything that says it's not going to be there? Okay, that's to me that's odd. That's something we would never do personally. No. Yeah. No. Darren, you're muted. But well, while he's unmuting himself, I can tell you, I don't care about init systems generally speaking, and the reason why is because if you're practical, you'll just use systemd.
I like System D. System D is good.
Mhm. Oh my god. Okay. Right. You did.
I didn't hear anything.
You did. You did.
Jonathan, check your messages real quick.
Okay.
Okay, guys.
I mean, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yes, Jonathan, the router.
Okay, cool.
It's shipped.
Cool.
It's already in shipping on its way.
Cool, cool, cool.
Still says it
We're
the 8th, but it's coming from California, so it should be here anytime.
we're getting a new router because of
Yeah.
Comcast is Comcast, and yeah, we know.
I love my Comcast speed of 2 gigabits down, but I am so tired of how do I put this politically correct? I can't. Chinese bots, hacking bots.
I love that. I love that.
Oh, I hate calling them. I always get somebody in India or somewhere in Asia that can't speak English, thinks he can, and his name is Bob or Tiffany, and you know it isn't. And then they're telling me they have to reset the modem. I says, if you reset the modem, we're going to get hung up because of where I live. My cell phone, the tower coverage sucks, so I'm on Wi-Fi calling. Mind you, I'm a technician. I've already reset it, reseated the cables, everything but drop kick it out the window. I know how, and then they're like, well, it's your computer. Well, how is it my computer? I don't use Windows. Well, that's your problem, sir. Linux, we don't allow Linux. I've actually had them tell me they don't allow Linux. And of course, I learned after a while to just stop calling them and drive over to the Division Street and go to the main building and go in there and talk to them. They don't have a clue what I'm talking about, but at least I can get stuff fixed up because I get those guys over in Asia and all they ever want to do is reset, reset, reset. It- yeah. Well, what got me, the other thing is, I guess people outside the country, they're calling when they ship the phone calls outside the country instead of here in the states, is you guys don't have the access that, let's say, the technician I get in America has. Because when I get somebody in the United States, they're like, okay, you did this, you did that, great. I'm going to run a scan, and I tell them, yeah, the person in wherever ran a scan and they found nothing. And then they always say, yeah, but I have different access. And then they come up with the problem, and then they fix the problem. So I don't think like like for instance, when it goes to Asia and you get somebody in Asia, they don't have the access that they do inside the States, to be honest. It's like they're limiting the access. I don't know if they did that to you when you worked for them down in Mexico, but yeah, I mean, like I tell everybody, I tell I found here our biggest issue is the splitters they use. They die. They Yeah, the splitter that I have down here, I don't know why it's on a splitter. I don't need it to be, but it is. It's on a splitter. They die. So when I had to have the cable split, about every 4 months, I'd go in, take those splitters in, get new ones, come back, put them in, just to keep having a problem because it averages between 3 and 4 months. They die. I don't know why, but they die. And it wasn't just where I live here. I've lived in several places, of course, in Spokane. It's everywhere I've ever lived in Spokane. They just die. I don't know why. They can't explain it, but First thing they say to me when I walk in the door, because they know me at the store, is, "Do you need splitters?" "Well, yeah, I'll take some, just in case." "Okay. How can we help you?" They see a tech. They can't even fix my phone because if I sign up for things with my phone, it says I'm an IP phone. Therefore, I cannot use the text service to sign up because I'm on Wi-Fi calling. But it's just a matter of them flipping a switch. And it does it even when I'm not on Wi-Fi calling too. But it's just a matter of them flipping a switch in a computer somewhere, but I can't get them to fix it. That's why it was so hard for me to sign up for any government stuff, like my Social Security account. I can't sign up for it. Even though I am now through ID Me, finally let me do it, but it's the point, you know. Can't do anything. Right. Right. Oh wow. You- I won't even tell you how fast mine is then. You'll cry. But that you can get 100 down. I think it's 100 and then down and like I think 10 or 20 up for about $35 here. No, I pay a lot more. I pay $124 and some change every month, but I have a 2 gig down, 2 gigabits down, and 350 megabits up. Oh no, no, no. Oh yeah,
It's been fun. It's definitely been fun.
definitely.
You go with me mentioning what I was talking to you about yesterday, Darren, or do you want to hold off on
Yeah,
that?
go ahead.
Okay. So I did mention we're looking at trying to have uh, a version of a restore over the network. We're looking at trying to do that. We're also looking at letting other people in the community start hosting accretion servers, which is a server, but it'll pull from our repository and we'll basically have copies throughout the United States. Um, the reason for that, yeah, it's basically the whole idea is like basically you go to the nearest one near to you, like closest to you, kind of basically what Arch already does with their mirror list, just we'd be doing for accretion. Um, yeah, yeah. Just because I know with only having one server here in Spokane, Washington, let's say you're on the other side of the country, it's not going to be as fast as you would probably want. So we have a few people on the project we're going to start beta testing that whole idea with. Jacob's one of them. Liv is somebody else we're going to be doing with it in the future. Um, I don't. Do you want to tell them if they're coming to sentiment or anything, Darren? Or
I haven't started yet, but one of my projects is to make it 100% net install instead of blowing the ISO out onto the hard drive. We'll download and install everything. Just thinking about doing that. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with it. I love Cinnamon. I love my wobbly windows, my burning windows. I like going, wee. Charge Jonathan nuts. I'll be in here. I'll grab something on my mouse and I just sit here and go, wee, and watch it go back and forth and wiggle. And John's looking at me like, what the hell's wrong with him? Is he on drugs? Yeah. Yeah, because of Compass. Yeah.
because right. So I'm okay with saying this publicly. I gotta be careful what I say, but we are using Nginx. We are using Nginx for the server, um, but I just yeah. So I will definitely look into that because we were actually had a complaint this morning about the website being a little slow because there are people in Europe and whatnot looking at it and that kind of thing, and I want to try to find a way of speeding up our website. Something currently in the works. I got to talk to Darren and Ben and whatnot, and we'll talk more in depth about this. But we might end up trying to host our website through pages.dev as well because of CDNs. Um, we're not on a CDN right now, where we just hosted ourselves. So we got to try to make this faster for people. So I'll have to look that up. He does have a PeerTube instance, right? Yeah. I'll have to look at it and see if I can find it on his PeerTube instance. Mm. I can tell you what we talked about our project end goal a while back. We gotta give it some time because this ton of space will need insane. We want to eventually get off of the Arch Linux project infrastructure. So we want to use the same tool set, but we want to start building our own packages one day, which means everything be built completely by us. But again, that requires quite a few very powerful machines. That requires a ton of storage, that kind of thing. So we'll have to scale over time. I've looked at in the past something, and I'm going to continue to look at this using something like GitHub Actions or a GitLab instance, and we'll build all of our packages. Um, mhm. I actually took that idea from Arch because Arch does that, or to some extent. Um, to some extent, because they host all their packages on their own GitLab instance, right? And that's where you can pull your source from. Um, and I saw they were doing that. I'm like, what else can we do with this? And I saw you can start building your own stuff through there. And I was like, in the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna be trying to get a GitLab instance deployed from here. But the only thing with that is I've tried this once before, and I gotta see if I can get it to work again. The only way I've got it to manage to get it to work at all is through a Docker container. Doing it by hand is a pain. It's really, really difficult, or for me at least. I don't know. Maybe it's just a me thing. Hmm. Thanks, I appreciate that. Um, my whole thing, I actually got scared off of Matrix. I saw an article one time about how they were like the government agencies were like going in and watching Matrix channels, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I would have used this. Like, I don't.
Oh
Like
God.
there's a whole of you never if you're doing if you're on it, you shouldn't have anything to hide. It's like everybody. has something to hide, whether yeah. So like yeah, that kind of thing. So I do have a Matrix account. I just haven't probably logged into it in like 6 months. Yeah, it makes sense. I'm on the kernel mailing list. I'm on the Arch mailing lists. That was a mistake. Um, that was a mistake. But it's funny sometimes the comments you see on the kernel mailing list, though. I'll admit that. Yeah. 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 That was. I thought it was absurd. Yeah. I mean, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Hey, I I think the hardest is probably about working alongside him. I've obviously never talked to him, but just based on what I've heard and what I've seen, he seems to be a very real person. Like you gotta not be a snowflake to be able to work around him. That's kind of what it comes down to. Yeah, yeah. Ben, I think you're having some static, but yeah,
Well,
I can hear like fans going or something.
well, that's my laptop. Yeah, its fans are just loud, and I don't know how to take care of that. It's an AMD. Look, it's an AMD gaming laptop. I can't do crap about it. So
Right, right, right.
look,
Absolutely.
it's a very heavy laptop. It's
He's
just
seasoned, man.
it's not an easy laptop to broadcast from. It's just not.
Good home. So I can't. Okay, I can't.
Oh
Okay,
God,
and the reason
Ubuntu.
why. So like without going into details, I will say I'm working with somebody, or I'm going to be soon working with somebody on a version of Ubuntu for them. It has to do with basically offering uh, a distro that's accessible to people with disabilities and that kind of thing. So like I can't hate on it too much, right? Like
No, no.
if I'm gonna be working on it, I can't be hating on it.
It doesn't.
I all right. Right. I okay. I have an unpopular opinion. I think it's unpopular. So like my first distro was 804, and that had Unity. So like I think they should just go. Eight. Are you
Actually,
sure?
10.10
My first
I thought it was.
my first one had Unity. So
That's actually true.
okay, then I must have been on 1004. Anyways, yeah. I remember because I remember specifically seeing the Amazon icon on that little flip bar. Um. So yeah. But
Hmm.
I don't remember that. No, that was a long time ago. I mean, Ubuntu has its own flavor, literally dedicated to it. So for whatever that's worth.
Yeah. Yeah. And I have to say, at least from my perspective, Unity is, I mean, it's just my opinion now. Don't quote me on this. I think Unity has, given its Compass driven and GNOME driven and all that, I would say it's got some pretty darn good accessibility resources in it. I really think so. I mean, that's just my opinion. I don't know if that's the truth, but I feel like it has some good stuff to it. Mm. No, it's not like it was back in the 2.x era. It's not. No, and Mate
It's not.
is, it's an okay desktop, but yeah, Mate.
Mate should have a switch, if I remember right. Mate has a switch where you can turn off the icons. I could swear it did, but
Dude.
yeah, it's been a while. Right.
Yeah. All it does is remove the trash. Okay, that's weird.
That sounds like a bug.
Sounds that way to me. And I went to the Mate source repo on their website. The last time they had an update was 1.28. They haven't updated a thing since. Oh God, that's even
Oof.
worse.
Actually, Linux itself does too, but
Mm. Who has a leak in their desktop?
no, I'm saying Linux itself has memory leaks. I've
Actually,
noticed, like when
Linux
I
itself
like
does too. But
some games, the memory doesn't clear out.
Oh yeah.
You get stuck, and I wrote a cache program or
Who
script
has
to
a
clear
leak
the
in their
cache.
desktop? Yeah.
No, I was saying it wouldn't release the cache properly.
Oh, shit.
I like some games.
I think Shaston's fixing his audio on YouTube because I just saw a comment in the chat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
But yeah, let's see. I'm gonna refresh this, see if
yeah, might help. Gonna refresh.
What happened to Ben?
I don't know what happened to Ben.
Oh, Ben's back.
And I refreshed.
Welcome back, Ben.
Yeah. Yeah, apologies again for the fan noise. Nothing I can do about it on this machine. So,
Blame Windows. That's what I do. I blame it for everything.
well, it doesn't just happen in Windows. It happens on Linux and other stuff too.
Yeah.
I think something we could do though in the future, after this live stream and whenever we get together next, I can show you how to use Noise Torch.
You get the what?
How I can show you how to use Noise Torch.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, no
Good.
I
worries.
used to have to use that. Then I got
Yep.
this fancy mic.
Because honestly, you
Yeah.
know, it might get a little bit annoying.
Because you guys used to hear me cross the room through the walls, everything when on my other mic.
Yeah.
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 I'm using the inbuilt mic on this computer, and the only other better mic I have is my desktop's webcam, and that's not really gonna cut it. But you know, I make do with what I got. Inbuilt mic. I'm using the inbuilt mic on this computer. The only other better mic I have is a desktop. But
Yeah, I see him in the chat over here. He's somehow is muted on YouTube again.
oh shoot, freaking! This is ridiculous. I do feel bad for the guy though. He's gotta go.
Yeah, I see him in the chat over here. He's somehow is muted on YouTube again. And now that I hear myself, I realize what a dork I am.
Oh boy, I do feel bad for the guy.
You are not a dork. You are fine.
Yeah, I see him in the chat over here. He's somehow is muted on YouTube again. I'm gonna try to reload his YouTube page and see if it comes up.
You are not a dork. You are fine.
It'll be interesting to see how this turns out on YouTube later.
There will be it'll be a good show, I think. There will be a couple.
Yeah, it'll just have to be condensed and all that junk.
Yeah, no worries.
But it'll be interesting to see.
What we need to do,
how this
what would be
turns
funny
out
is
on
if we
YouTube
had like a
later.
big old ad spot here. That'd be there will be it'll be a good show, I think. I'm joking.
Yeah, it'll
obviously.
just have to be condensed and all that.
Yeah, no worries.
Perils of long streams is that there's bound to be technical
What we
mumbo
need to
jumbo that runs.
What would be funny is if we
Well,
had, like,
the
a
new
big old
router
ad
should
spot
be,
here.
it says the 8th, by the way, Jonathan. But I have a feeling since it's now shipped and been picked up by the shipper, it'll be here in about 2 days.
Perils of long streams is that there's
Maybe 3.
bound to be technical mumbo jumbo. And Jonathan's just over there smiling like
router
he's
should
in
be, it
heaven.
says the 8th. Well, he knows
I'm
exactly why I wanted this router. I have a feeling since it's now
Uh-huh.
shipped and been
So,
picked up by the shipper, it'll be here in about
like
2 days.
without going like super deep details, basically Chinese
Maybe
hackers
3.
be a thing. But like we kept them out, but we're just tired of getting hit.
Well, he
Uh,
knows
I'm
exactly why I wanted
We
this
are not.
router.
We are not IBM. You know, we're not Microsoft.
No,
Yeah,
no.
we're still getting attacked. Going like super deep details, basically Chinese hackers be a
Like,
thing.
do they
But,
not
like,
realize?
We kept them out, but we're just tired of getting hit. Well,
knows exactly why I wanted.
we are not. We are not IBM. We're not Microsoft.
No,
Yeah,
no.
we're still getting attacked. Like super deep details. Basically, Chinese hackers
Like,
thing.
do they
But,
not
we kept
realize?
them out, but we're just tired of getting hit. Well,
knows exactly why I wanted.
we are not. We are not IBM. We're not Microsoft.
No,
Yeah,
no.
we're still getting attacked. Like super deep details. Basically, Chinese hackers
Like,
thing.
do they
But,
not
we kept
realize?
them out, but we're just tired of getting hit. Well,
knows exactly why I wanted.
we are not. We are not IBM. We're not Microsoft.
No,
Yeah,
no.
we're still getting attacked. Like super deep details. Basically, Chinese hackers
Like,
thing.
do they not use Discord?
No, it has nothing to do with Jitsi. It has to do with.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about it later.
If you say OBS, we're gonna fight.
No,
I
I'll
heard
tell
you.
you later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
We
hear you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it might be the wrong microphone though. No, it has nothing to do with Jitsi. It has to do with.
Yeah, check your audio settings.
I'll tell you about it later.
If you say OBS, we're gonna fight.
No,
I heard
I'll
you.
tell you later.
Yeah, I
We
hear you.
Yeah, I think it might be the wrong microphone though. No, it has nothing to do with Jitsi. It has to do with.
Yeah, check your
Yeah.
audio settings.
You can hear you great.
Yep, we hear you just
Say
fine.
OBS, we're gonna fight.
No,
I heard
I'll
you.
tell you later.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I think it might be the wrong.
I think you're on the wrong mic because when you unplugged your mic, we were still hearing you.
Yeah, check your audio
You
settings.
can hear you great.
Yep, we hear you just fine. Yep, all should be good now.
I think it might be the wrong.
I think you're on the wrong mic because when you unplugged your mic, we
Perils
were
of
still
Pinnacle
hearing you.
Mumbo Jumbo.
You can hear you great.
Yep, we hear you just fine.
What? Are you
Yep,
sure you're not on
all
your
should be
Bluetooth
good
mic
now.
right now? Or that mic on your head? I think you're on the wrong mic because when you unplugged your mic,
Perils of Pinnacle Mumbo Jumbo.
because it's cutting in
It's
now.
cutting in and out like hell.
It's bubbling.
Are you sure you're not on your Bluetooth mic right now? Or that mic on your head? I think you're on the wrong mic when you unplugged your mic.
Perils of Pinnacle Mumbo Jumbo.
Because it's cutting in
It's
now.
cutting in and out like hell.
It's bubbling.
Are
We
you
hear
sure
you.
you're on your Bluetooth mic right now? Or that mic on your head?
It still sounds like he's bubbling in and out.
Because it's cutting in
It's
now.
cutting in and out like hell.
It's bubbling.
We hear you. It still sounds like he's pretty bubbling decent in and thus out. far. It's cutting in and out like hell. Yeah, sounds good to me. Now let's see how it sounds on the thing. Yeah, now it's not bubbling in and out. Decent thus far. Yeah, we're good.
Cool.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Now let's see how it sounds on the thing. Yeah, now it's not bubbling in and out. Thus far. Yeah, we're good.
Cool.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Now let's see how it sounds on the thing. Yeah, now it's not bubbling in and out. Yeah, it's go ahead.
Cool.
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, now it's not bubbling in and out. Yeah, it's go ahead. What? Yeah, because but yeah, we've I think we've covered a lot of good ground for this one at least.
Yeah, I think everything's all good. No worries.
Yeah, I would agree with that one. Yeah. But yeah, we've oh yeah, this was a heck of a show. Despite
It was a Yeah,
the
it was a lot
technical
of fun.
challenges we had. I think we covered some pretty good solid ground. But yeah, we've oh yeah, this was a heck of a show. Yeah, I mean, hopefully we get to do this
It was a
again
lot of fun.
sometime. You know, when we all have some stuff to cover.
I definitely hope so.
But yeah, we've oh yeah, this was a heck of a show. Oh sure, yeah. We anytime you want to have us come on and just shoot the breeze, I'm definitely down to come on and have another chat for
I
sure.
definitely hope so.
Oh sure, yeah. We can do like a monthly call where we just hang around, shoot the breeze, talk about shit. Yeah, sure.
I'd be down for that. That sounds good.
What about you, Darren?
I'm always up for it.
Yeah, for sure. We can just chill, talk about Linux and whatever the hell else you want for sure. Talk about shit. Yeah, sure.
I'd be down for that. That sounds good.
What about you, Darren?
I'm always up for it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and heck,
Absolutely.
and even if you just want to come on our Discord or yours and just chill, that's perfectly cool too. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, but do like an after podcast thing, whatever the hell you want to do. Yeah, and heck,
Absolutely.
Mhm. But yeah, uh, yeah, because it wasn't us, we were just you were like bubbling back and forth throughout the show, and I was like, oh shit. Yeah, yeah. I didn't even pick up on it till like I jumped on, and I was like, oh my god. Yeah, we just wanted to make you aware that it was like bubbling back and forth, and I was like, what the frick is this? But yeah, again, Chaston, thank you for having us on, and we I got to tell you, we much value the the feedback that you've given us about, for example, all the versions and just all that. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. And that feedback actually inspires us three to keep this going. You know.
Oh Lord, I forgot all about that. I'm sorry. I haven't looked at them yet. I do have them downloaded. I keep getting distracted everywhere I turn. So
Yeah, that's. um, mm, mm, yeah. And, yeah. Mhm. Yeah, I liked it too. It was a pretty good show. I felt.
It was fun.
Oh boy. Well, again, Mike, that'll be for later, maybe after the show or something, Shaston, because again, my webcam is on this machine is just munged, and I was gonna go upstairs before I came on and get one, but I just didn't feel like because I'm 6'7" tall, and it's kind of a pain in the ass to bring down the webcam from my upstairs computer.
how tall are you?
6'7" there.
You don't look like that on camera.
I am.
No
If you
offense. You
saw,
look
if
kind
you
of short to me because I'm 6'5".
No, I get it. My dad can attest that I'm taller than he is, for crying out loud. Oh, I know. Well, one of these days you will see the gorgeous Ben face. Yeah, yeah. And I actually have a cousin who's 6'10". I come from a tall family, dude. Yeah. I don't know, but I've never asked them. But uh, sports was never a big thing in my family. Truth be told. Oh God, that's tall for a woman, actually. Holy frick! Uh, that's impressive. I mean, like, he could probably dunk the dang net probably pretty well. Just reach up to the net and go bang. Oh Jesus, that's oh yeah. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. Well, we'll figure it out at some point for sure. Yeah. 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 Well, anything else we have to say, we'll put in the Discord or something like that for now. All right.
Definitely youngsters.
Yeah, no worries.
It was nice meeting you too.
Good seeing you.
You too. Yeah. Whenever you guys want to do it.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Just let us know.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
All right. Peace,
Bye.
Shaston.
You have a good day.
You too.
Hmm. Okay. There we go. All right. Well, anyway, I just want to like throw my 2 cents in real quick. That was a lot of fun, guys. I thoroughly enjoyed having this interview, and it means a lot to me because I have to say that I haven't done a lot of interviews so far, but the few that I've done have really turned out really well. This one was a little confusing for a couple of reasons. I'm usually like I'm really good with the audio, but it was it just wasn't. There's a couple of quirks in there, so Anyway, I hope everybody has a great day. I just thoroughly enjoyed it. And anyway, everyone just have a great rest of your day, okay? And I'll see you soon. I think I have a live low volume. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know about that. Okay. Huh. I wonder why that is. Okay. Okay. That's so weird. All right. I don't know why this is behaving this way. Oh my word. Um, all right. I think you can hear me now. Go ahead and keep it like this, I guess. All right. And it says low volume. That is so weird. I'm not getting a huge signal, but it's so weird. All right, that should be better, I think. All right. I think that should be a little bit better. Okay, that's too loud, I think. There we go. All right. I think I'm still going through. No, that's my computer one. All right. Okay, there we go. There we go. We got it back. Now we got some sound. God forbid. All right. So, anyway, I just wanted to say I thoroughly enjoyed this interview. Anyway, everyone, just have a great rest of your day. I hope that people and got to know these people with Accretion, got to know Darren, Jonathan, and Ben. And all right, thank you so much. Anyway, I hope you got to know everyone and kind of got to know a little bit about them. I'm going to probably repackage this a little better so that it flows. But anyway, I hope everybody just has a great rest of their day, and I'm going to see you on the next one. All right. So, everybody, just have a great rest of your day, and I'm out of here, man.